Hello and welcome to the Christmas episode of our podcast. In this, the third episode, the project name is revealed. It's Christmas, but what does that mean? Raz goes back to school and does a presentation on Coke, and we discuss social media. So put some chestnuts on the fire, enjoy the snow falling all around you, and listen to the third episode of
Three.
No.
Oh.
5. Good start. Okay. 5,
5,
4, 3, 2,
1.
Hello again.
Hello, Ron.
We made it.
Finally.
Yeah. It hasn't taken, maybe 20 minutes.
It's one of those days, Ron.
Yeah. How have you been?
Tired, quite honestly, but
Yeah.
I'm
Lack of
alive.
sleep or?
Yeah, basically, just haven't been sleeping much. Finally got done with my finals, so
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I forgot that Americans have exams pre-Christmas.
yeah, it's kind of
We
cruel.
have all of ours just after Christmas, which I think is more cruel because it means we have to revise over Christmas.
That's a fair point.
I'm in the midst of heavy revision, which is fun. Doing computational fluid dynamics.
I just had to do constitutional law. I'll stick to the law.
I mean, you should know most of that anyway.
I mean, you would think, but turns out there's more.
There's sneaky laws that nobody tells you about.
Yeah.
There's a law, I think it's still in effect. They might have removed it because it's absurd. But in the UK, that all taxi drivers have to legally carry a bale of hay with them. And it hails back to when it was a horse and cart. So they had to have a bale of hay to feed the horse. But they never officially removed the law.
Oh, that's just weird.
I don't know, that might be a myth. It's something that I got told a few years back.
Well, there's a website for that.
Yeah, it's Snopes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the website? So, it's been about a month again, just over a month.
Feels like 3, but okay.
I think it's been 5.5 weeks since we last recorded, which isn't that bad.
Still on schedule.
Yeah, as long as we get this edited by next Tuesday, we're fine. I should manage to do that. I've got all of Monday free.
Perfect.
I'm gonna take a week off for Christmas. I say a week; it'll be about 3 days, but I'll get this one edited, the New Year's episode edited. So, classic start. We'll do some feedback.
I'm ready.
So last episode, couple of things. We released a poll after the episode about changing our podcast name, which we were just discussing. So upon recording, we checked the poll, and it came back that the Osiris Project podcast was winning. So that is our new name. Polite clap. That's our now official name, and it comes with a new Twitter handle, @Osiris Project, all one word, which is a much neater name, in my opinion. It's nice to have something that actually resembles the podcast name.
Totally not throwing shade at a certain person.
We've almost getting Fen on, actually. He's getting close to being able to record.
I know, which is a shame because we're ending the podcast after this.
Yeah, we're finishing at the end of 2018. So yeah, we've now got a new podcast name, which is nice. Thank you for everyone who participated in the poll.
Thank you.
Feedback is also always useful. At some point, we will respond to emails on the podcast. I think Fen requested that we do some kind of agony aunt style section. So people send in things that they want help with, and we'll read them out and then discuss them. So if people have things that they want us to discuss in that format, feel free to send us. an email. I shall just find the email account. So send us an email at theproject.pod21@gmail.com, which we might update at some point. We'll see. But at the moment, send them to at theprojectpod21@gmail.com or tweet at us at Osiris Project. And we shall get to them in a future episode. Probably not the New Year's episode. It will be after that at some point. The second bit of follow-up, which is something I noticed when editing the previous episode. I thought about doing a kind of, while editing, little insert. But I was having fireworks in my audio, which can be vaguely heard. I tried to cut them out as much as possible. But there's only so much you can do. But yeah, as I was just saying to you, Raz, it was fireworks night when we recorded that. So it's the 5th of November in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you have no idea what fireworks night is.
Now that you say 5th of November, I think I have a clue, but fill me in just in case.
So remember the 5th of November?
Yes.
You may have heard of. This is going to test my history. But
no
in
pressure.
Like the 1600s, I think, subtle Googling, a guy, amusingly called Guy Fawkes, tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament, so where the government meets in the UK. Yeah, it must have been the 1600s. Yeah, 1605, look at me.
Ooh.
Know my stuff. So he tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament, I believe over religious views. This is very strained memories of when I studied this about, 15 years ago. So he tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. He was caught, and for some reason we now celebrate that by having a bonfire and fireworks.
I mean, it makes sense.
So yeah, of course. So it's either called Bonfire Night or Fireworks Night. Hence why we have the bonfires and fireworks. And quite the kind of tradition is to have what's called a guy, which is basically a large doll, so a life-size doll of Guy Fawkes made out of straw and clothing and things that you then throw on the bonfire.
Oh,
So it's all slightly creepy.
so it's Burning Man, basically.
Well, So yeah, that's the reason for the fireworks in the background of the audio. It was the Friday before fireworks night when we recorded.
Well,
And consequently, there's not much I could have done. I could have shouted out my window and asked people to have a kind of temporary break, but that wouldn't have gone down well.
if it gives you any consolation, Ron, I didn't hear him.
Well, that's good. That's all that matters. You have 4th of July. It's kind of the big fireworks night event in America.
Yep. American independence. America.
Is that what it is? Is that when you became independent, I assume, from
Well,
the British Empire?
it's when we declared our independence.
Oh, okay.
And then there was the whole Revolutionary War.
Yeah. I literally know nothing about American history.
Oh, well, Ron, we're going to have an episode about that.
Because this was all like 30 years ago. I mean, America's such a young country.
Yes, it really does put it in perspective. You have countries that are hundreds and hundreds of years old, maybe even a couple that thousands.
Yeah, some are nearing the thousands. Well, over the thousands.
And we've only
Let's
been...
not get into the age of the universe.
And then
We'll
we
do that at another point.
We have this one country that's 245 years old
Yeah.
and is basically
Still
in charge.
in its teenage years.
Yeah, and it's in charge of the whole planet.
Yeah. So what kind of thing do you do on 4th of July?
Oh, typical American stuff. Barbecues,
Shoot
stuff,
guns
lose
Really?
limbs.
What did you do this year?
What did I do? Pretty much that.
You drank that much, yeah?
Barbecue,
Do you actually...
shoot guns.
Really?
Yeah, less of the shooting guns, more of the barbecue. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
the gist
You
of
don't
it.
just go around 6-shooter in both hands, just firing wildly into the air.
You joke, but that happens. And it's very
Really?
scary
Wow.
at some points, yeah. Depends where you are in the States.
That's what I always think, is you see people shooting straight up in films and things, but you never see where the bullet lands, and it has to come back down.
I mean, it does.
That cannot be safe.
But it's not as dangerous as people make it out to be.
Really?
Yes.
I wouldn't want to be hit on the head by a piece of metal.
I mean, it's definitely gonna hurt. I'm not saying that. It's just, it's not gonna kill you.
Okay, fair enough. Do you enjoy 4th of July?
I enjoy the...
I mean, you must have classic, good American food, like a proper, like, cookout.
Well, here's the
barbecue
thing.
And things.
Since I have Mexican heritage, we do have burgers, but it's more like... it's Mexican food, you know, tacos.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
So,
I mean, Mexican food is amazing.
Oh, it's great. It's spicy, so if you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I used to be way more into spicy food than I am now.
Mm.
I don't know. A couple of years ago, I suddenly realised that I don't like putting myself in unnecessary pain. So, why bother, really?
It's the adrenaline, Ron. It gets you going.
That probably is it, to be fair.
Yeah, I think a study was done, and I think that's pretty much why we like spicy food, because it gets our adrenaline going.
Really?
I think so. Something like that.
So you can either jump off a bridge with a parachute, or you can just eat a burrito.
Yeah, exactly. And the burrito doesn't have a chance of failing.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder whether you could mix the two activities.
I mean, I'm sure somebody has.
Sounds like a great weekend.
Sounds like a bad time coming down.
Yeah, I think that's all the follow-up we had. But it does bring us quite neatly on to what I thought our first section could be. Now, Raz,
Yes.
it's a bit early for us, but happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, whatever you want to say.
Merry
happy
Christmas,
holidays,
Ron.
you know. So yeah, this is our Christmas episode.
Jingle bells. Oh, wait, that's copyrighted. Never mind.
So, I was thinking, I'm completely unaware of what other people's Christmases are like. Because growing up, we do kind of the same thing every year, which I'll go to in a bit. But I assume other houses don't do the same thing as I do. It'd be a bit creepy if they did. So, yeah, what does your Christmas day look like?
Well, much like 4th of July, guns, eating. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually a rather calm day. It's pretty similar to Thanksgiving, actually. Mom cooks. If I can, I help out. She makes this drink called champurrado, which is essentially like really thick hot chocolate. It's really nice and warm, and
That sounds good.
I don't know how to explain it. You're gonna have to look it up, but it's good.
Yeah, you'll have to send me the spelling for that, and we'll put a link to it in the show notes.
Alrighty, I can do that. She orders tamales because tamales are just a pain in the butt to make.
I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what tamales are?
No.
Oh my God, Rod, you are missing out. It's essentially...
Wait, how do you spell it?
Tamales.
Yeah, I've never seen that word before. Okay, I'm going to look it up. Let's see if I can describe what it is. I could just read the Wikipedia article.
Just do that. It'd be much simpler.
Traditional Mesoamerican, so presumably Mexican-American,
Yeah.
dish made of masa, or dough, which is steamed in a corn husk or banana leaf. Yeah, I'm none the wiser.
It's essentially that, but what is traditionally done as well is you can either put like cheese with some jalapeno slices in there, or you can put meat. You can put a lot of stuff in there.
So it's just kind of good food.
It's good, soulful food. It's just a pain in the butt
Yeah.
to make.
So growing up, were you someone to wake up early and open all of your presents?
No, we actually did it, I think, on the 24th. We would stay up until well, I guess that's early. We would stay up until midnight and then and then open everything.
Okay. Yeah, because I think in some parts of the world, it's actually the tradition to open the presents on the 24th.
Like the
and then
morning?
you kind of have the... I think so, yeah. Yeah. For me, growing up, Christmas Eve was always the day that we would put the presents under the tree. So they would all live in my parents' room upstairs until the 24th, and then that evening we would do this kind of conveyor belt line where we'd stand each of us at different points down from the top floor all the way down to the conservatory where we had the tree set up and everything, and we'd pass all the presents down, then put them under the tree, and then put our stockings out and then go to bed, and that would be it. And it's like when you're really young, you'd struggle to go off to sleep, so you'd stay awake for hours and then wake up absurdly early and annoy your parents by complaining at them until they could let you open at least some of the presents.
You had a good run. We had we would put the presents out as they
we
came.
would put the president out under the tree.
Yeah, he came to every house and he'd stay for an hour and you could put him under the tree. No, we would put the presents out as they came, so family would come by and drop off presents, and we would have them out throughout the month. So every single day, the presents were torturing you as you woke up.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be such a pain.
Yeah. Lots of temptation there, Ron.
Yeah. So I assume you did have a tree. Was it an artificial tree or a real tree?
No, we always had actual real trees.
Yeah, I'm impressed. We only started having a real tree a few years ago. I think it was spurred on. We went to the Alps in France for a Christmas to kind of celebrate Christmas and my mum's birthday, which is early January. And they had a huge kind of probably 10 or 12 foot real tree.
Oh, jeez.
And my parents just very much liked it. So after that, we've then started having a real tree every year. And it is nice.
It's nice, but then there's the cleaning up and vacuuming after it. So we're starting to resort to a fake tree because ain't nobody got time for that.
We have so as it kind of dries out in our conservatory where we set up Christmas as an event, we have an open fire. So as the tree dries out, my mum will tend to cut off parts of the tree and chuck them on the fire, and they pop because of the moisture in the leaves. So do a little kind of crackly firework display in the fire. And we do that for a while and then save the rest of the tree for the following year. So we still got the last year's tree cut up into sections that we'll put on the fire this year.
That's ingenious.
Saves all the pins and needles from being scattered everywhere.
I might have to adopt that idea, Ron.
Yeah. You're in California, aren't you?
Yep. The place that's perpetually burning.
Yeah, it is at the moment. Yeah. So do you get much cold weather over the winter break?
I mean, I would say yes, but then we would get people from Chicago yelling at me because that's not real cold weather.
Yeah, there's always somewhere colder. That's what always happens.
We get down to at night maybe 33 Fahrenheit, which I don't know what that is for you guys.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it's cold.
It's around 0, I would assume.
Because 80 is a kind of very hot summer day, isn't it?
80 is just perfect weather for us.
Yeah.
In summer, it can reach up to 115, so that's maybe somewhere in the 30s or 40s Celsius, I think.
Yeah, 33 is 0.5 degrees Celsius.
Oh, well, there you go.
So yeah, it's freezing temperature. So do you get snow?
Not regularly.
But you have had it?
We had it once, and that was 20 years ago.
Have you ever seen snow in memory, or?
I've gone up to the mountains where there was leftover snow, but it wasn't really like the snow you would put into a snowball. It was more just a hunk of ice that was starting to melt.
Yeah.
But
I don't know whether we're meant to be getting snow this year. We tend to get it kind of end of January, February time. Rather than the kind of classic white Christmas that everyone wants. I was told by one of my friends, Raven, that to have an official white Christmas, I think it's a single snowflake needs to be seen somewhere, which is crazy. Yeah. Then it's a white Christmas in the UK.
Good luck with that.
But I quite like snow in a theoretical sense. I like the idea of it, and a white Christmas is always kind of nice. It's kind of cozy to be sitting inside when it's a snowstorm, very cold, and then you get like a day or two where it looks nice and the snow is untouched and completely white. But following that, you end up with just this muddy brown slush, which is just awful.
That is very true.
And it goes between that and like black ice for the next 3 or 4 weeks. It's just the worst. So yeah, I'd rather have like a cool evening rather than a snowstorm, because snowstorm leads to horrible things.
But Ron, think of the children having fun in the snow. Isn't it worth it?
No. Okay, so you tend to open the presents. Well, I assume you don't still stay up till midnight on New Year's. No, on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we do.
I know. Do you?
Yeah.
So you get all of them done and then go to bed, or just stay up?
We talk for a while. We open them and joke around, but maybe like an hour and a half at the most, and then everybody goes to bed.
So like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're heading to bed.
Yeah. Because we're all old
and then
now.
Yeah. What will you do on Christmas Day itself?
I mean, it depends who came prior on the 24th. If some people weren't able to make it, they come that day, and that's more just of a get together and eat kind of day.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty much a normal day after that. Clean up, maybe have some leftovers.
The leftovers are always great.
Yep.
They last for days. Yeah, so we make quite a big thing about it. So breakfast, certainly growing up, was we'd have more of a treat. So it'd be, well, growing up it used to be like porridge with a whole load of sugar and jam and things like that. Because that was just nice. It's like, it's cold weather, so having something warm for breakfast is always good. I don't know what the plan is for this year. I might make myself a fried breakfast or something like that.
A fried breakfast? What's that?
Yeah, like a full English. Have you heard of?
I have a vague
Bacon,
idea.
fried toast, fried eggs, baked beans, fried tomatoes, mushrooms, black pudding, sausages, all the good stuff.
Oh, so a breakfast. It's like breakfast here.
Yeah, well, we call it a full English because that's where it came from.
Makes sense.
And it's more of a treat. So I do it occasionally at uni if I've got no lectures in the morning and I've had like a couple of weeks of like a hard slog. I'll treat myself to a more fatty breakfast.
I was going to say hearty, but sure, he's fatty.
And then growing up, so this was a few years back, we would then open all of our stocking presents, which we just were like, oh, these are other presents from our parents, but they're small things, so it was more kind of jokey presents. So like
Whiskey stones.
Things like, do you have gobstoppers? So like the huge sweets that just last for months, those kind of things.
Yeah.
So it's just slightly more interesting, but very cheap presents.
Okay.
And that would last for like an hour or two. And we'd always go up to our parents' bedroom for that and just enjoy being there as a family, opening these ridiculous little presents. And then we'd head back downstairs to our own rooms and tend to just chill for a couple of hours. Ooh. And then at about, I don't know, 11 o'clock, half 11, we would have hot chocolate or coffee or whatever you want, and a mince pie.
Mince pie? What's a mince pie?
Do you not know what mince pies are?
You didn't know what tamales are. Don't give me that.
Mince pies are the ultimate dessert. They're just amazing. It's okay. So originally was like a proper pie with mincemeat in it.
Okay.
So like ground meat. It's changed to being like a pastry case with sweetened like fruit in. So it's like it is a little pie with just fruit and sugar, and they're really tasty. And they're small enough, it's like 2 or 3 bites, so you can just eat loads of them, and they're really Moorish. So you just keep eating more and more mince pies.
So what I'm hearing is it's a really sad donut.
It's not a donut. It's like shortbread pastry, short crust pastry, rather than like batter pastry.
Oh, okay.
It's like a proper pie, like a meat pie,
okay,
but with fruit inside.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like pecan pie. You know, at Thanksgiving you'd have a pecan pie or a pumpkin pie, or whatever you have.
Yeah, we have pumpkin.
Okay, yeah, pumpkin pie. It's that kind of pastry.
Okay, sounds good. I'll try it one day.
They are delicious, and you can get iced mince pies that have icing on top. It's just glorious, the best. And you heat them up, and they just go all like melty and buttery. It's just delicious.
At that point,
So, yeah,
that's
we
just the cupcake run.
It's quite close, yeah. So yeah, we eat those mid-morning, and then Mum would then start cooking Christmas dinner, which is a glorious feast of many courses. I say many, it's about 3 courses. So it starts off, we'd have prawn cocktail. Do you know what a prawn cocktail is?
I know what a prawn is.
Okay, that's good. That's better than some people I know. So it's like prawn cocktail, Thousand Island dressing, which is sort of like a slightly tomatoey mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware of Thousand Island.
You're doing well, Raz. And then you'd have lettuce and like lemon with it and things like that. It varies what you can do with that. So you can have salsa with it. So yeah, that would be the first course, and we'd eat that, and then we'd normally have a bit of a break and just chat. And then we'd start the main course, which is this. It's basically Thanksgiving food. So it's like roast potatoes, we'd have turkey or goose, cranberry sauce, Brussels sprouts. Do you have Brussels sprouts at Thanksgiving?
I believe some people do. It's not part of my usual Thanksgiving.
No, it's not one of my desired parts of Christmas, really. I'm not a big fan. And then you'd have like carrots and gravy and all sorts of nonsense. But it's like you go the full mile with all the food you can have in the main course.
Oh, you're making me hungry, Ron.
Yeah, same. It's not going to get any better. And then we do Christmas crackers. Do you know what Christmas crackers are?
No, those are new to me.
Okay, I'm going to have to send you a link for this. Because they're quite hard to explain. It's like a little roll of cardboard with 2 little handles, and you do them with the person next to you, and you both pull, and it opens up, and it's got a tiny little kind of firecrackery thing inside that just pops, like makes a bang as you open it.
Sounds dangerous.
And it sounds fun.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds dangerous, but it sounds fun.
And then they're filled with... Do you know what they are?
Yeah, it looks familiar. I'm vaguely aware of these.
Okay, yeah. So they're filled with little toys, and they'll have a piece of paper with normally a fact or a joke on. You get some classic, terrible Christmas jokes. And a Christmas, like a paper hat crown thing that you have to wear. It looks awful, but you have to wear it.
I mean, do you have to?
Yes, it's part of Christmas law.
Okay.
So yeah, you do those with the people around you, and then you enjoy like messing around with the little toy inside. And you're completely stuffed at this point, so you need to let the first 2 courses digest before you can move on to the first lot of puddings. And this is where it gets really like great food, but very, very heavy food. So it's like lots of cream, lots of sugar, lots of butter, all the good things. So we have sticky toffee pudding, which is like a steamed pudding coated in toffee sauce, which is the best, and I always add additional cream to mine, which makes it even heavier but even more delicious. Like, do you know banoffee pie? Have you heard of banoffee pie?
No.
Banoffee comes from banana and toffee, so it's like a layer of biscuit and then a layer of solid toffee and then a layer of cream and then bananas on top.
Oh,
And it's so good.
sounds so good. Right.
When I was younger, I used to be able to eat like a quarter of this, but now I can like manage this tiny little sliver. It's so rich, but just very tasty.
Can I come over for Christmas?
How about next year we'll do a live episode at the Christmas dinner table?
Don't tempt me, Ron. I will start saving now.
Yeah, and that's normally you'd have like a fruit salad or a trifle as well, and then the whole meal itself would probably take 3.5 to 4 hours to eat the whole thing. And by the time you've done that, you're so full, and it's like mid to late afternoon, like very dark at this point because it goes dark at about 4 this time of year.
Sounds right.
So you'd kind of slump into the conservatory, and that's when you'd start opening the presents. So at this point, we haven't really done kind of anything Christmassy. We just had a really good meal all day. And yeah, so we'd start working our way around. We'd each take a present at a time. We'd like open one up and like see what it is and say thanks to who it's from, things. And we'd only ever have direct family, so it'd be my parents and my 3 siblings for Christmas Day. It'd be slightly different this year because my brother's married now, so he's being with his wife's family for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And then coming to us for New Year's, that kind of thing. Go around the family and each open a present at a time, and that will take another 2 to 3 hours. At which point you are starting to get hungry again. You never thought you'd ever be hungry again, the amount you've eaten. But somehow there's space for more, so you have the classic Christmas sandwich at the end of the day, which is just the leftover turkey and stuffing and bacon and sausages all stuffed into a sandwich. And you just eat that, and then you're unbelievably full yet again.
You're making my chest hurt, Ron.
So, yeah, the acid reflux is awful. You have heartburn for days. But yeah, so you eat that, and then you just watch some junk TV. So I'm sure you've heard of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
So Doctor Who was a classic to watch. You'd watch the Christmas Day special. We normally nowadays tend to just watch a film. So one of us will get a DVD for Christmas, and we'll put that on and watch that. And then you'll fall into a food coma. And you'll wake up again 3 or 4 days later.
What year is it?
Yeah. But yeah, Christmas is such a good day. It's just like family and food. That's what I think of as Christmas.
Yeah, same here. It's just hanging out, and the gifts are just a side note.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of receiving gifts. I'm quite awkward in opening them because it's a very southern British thing that we just are awful at showing excitement.
I've heard this.
Everything
yes.
we say sounds sarcastic. It's like, oh wow, thanks for that. That's awesome. And it's like, I actually mean it.
Please don't be mad.
Yeah, it's like it's a great present. It's just my accent and me. Nothing I can do about it.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
When has that ever worked?
The awkward Christmas breakup. So I don't enjoy receiving gifts. I quite like giving gifts, but I'm awful at remembering to get them. So even though we're only about 4 days out, I haven't got all of my presents yet.
We don't even have a tree, Ron.
Do you not?
No.
Oh, growing up, we were always the family that we'd decorate the house on Christmas Eve and then take everything down about a month later. So we'd have it basically from Christmas onwards, it's decorated. But so many families now decorate in kind of like end of October. They have it up for 2 months.
Here it's about the same, but it starts like late November and then it stays till February.
Yeah, because you kind of have Thanksgiving and then the decorations go up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I can understand that. That's quite a good like bookend. It's like, that's part of the year done. We'll now move on to the Christmas part of the year.
Yep.
But the UK doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving. Or the people who do. Doesn't really make sense because we're giving thanks that the Americans all left.
Okay, that kind of hurts, Ron.
Yeah, well, I don't celebrate it.
Sure you don't.
I just enjoy Black Friday.
I bet you put up a shrine and everything.
Yep, my little flag of America that I set sail towards America in it. Oh dear. So yeah, I've never celebrated Thanksgiving. I know people who do, but I always think it's a bit odd. What kind of decorations do you have in your house? So you have a tree.
We have a tree. It's very simple, traditional stuff because it's a small house. Lights, we have like, my mom likes animals a lot, so we have little, what would they be called? Goats, I guess, but they're like Christmas goats, so they have like scarves and bells.
Yeah.
And we put them around the house. We have tinsel we put around the tree. And then stockings. We keep it pretty simple. Family's pretty simple, so it's not much that we put out.
We don't go wild with ours. We have a well-decorated tree, and then a couple of lights and things around the house in the rooms that people congregate in.
We have a little wreath
yeah.
we put outside the door too.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Yeah.
One thing I always find odd is the fact that in Australia, it's their summer when it's Christmas. So they definitely don't have snow or anything like that on Christmas Day. So they have Christmas cards where Father Christmas is in like a swimming costume.
Oh my god.
On the beach and things like that. And he's still wearing the hat and he's still got the beard and everything. But like on a beach, which I just find is really odd.
Yeah, that would throw me off so bad.
Yeah. And a lot of them still put up trees and everything, even though the trees hail from Europe.
Yeah.
That's where they originate from.
Oh, that would confuse me. That would take a while to get used to.
Yeah, it's really odd. Yeah, I can't quite get my head around that.
Darn Australians.
Yeah, I know quite a few Australians now, so I might mock them a bit about it.
I know.
Any of them who are listening, it's ridiculous.
Get it together,
But
man.
Also, happy Christmas, Australia.
I know exactly two, and I don't really know them. Just, I'm aware of them.
I know enough that I'm vaguely considering going and visiting them now. But Australia is such a huge place that it would take me probably 3 or 4 weeks to get round the whole of it and see them all.
Oh, wow.
So I'll need to get some money first and not be doing a degree.
Yes.
Few years off yet. But that'd be fun.
Nice little side project.
What kind of family do you have coming to Christmas? Do you get extended family? Because Mexicans, as a stereotype, are quite kind of big on family, aren't they?
I was about to ask, where are you going with this, Ron?
Yeah. I mean, British stereotypes is very anti-family. It's like everyone hates Christmas because you have to see the family, and it's awful.
I mean, it depends on the family situation, but in my household, it's the same as yours. It's immediate family, brothers, sisters. That's about it, really. Because we see cousins when we go over to other people's houses.
None of my extended family live particularly close. It's like, I think the closest set is about 2.5 to 3 hours away.
Oh, wow.
So it tends to be a bigger event when we're all meeting up together. And certainly I think there's only been one time in my life where I've seen all of my cousins on the same day.
I don't think I have, because I have like at least 80 cousins.
Yeah, that's a lot more than me. I probably have somewhere between 20 and 30, which is fairly large, considering it's only one side of my family.
Yeah, no, that's just one
cousins.
side of my family, Ron.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just... Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want all of those in a house at one time.
No, we couldn't fit them.
Christmas is fun, though.
With the right people.
Yes, true. Yeah. But I enjoy it. It's fun. We had, this past Sunday, I was tweeting about it a bit. I went to the largest carol service in the UK.
I did see something about that.
So they have 3 services in a day, and each service has 10,000 people in. It's held in Wembley Arena, which is this kind of large music venue. So it's like a classic stadium tour kind of arena, or arena tour, I suppose. And it was so good. It was like they'd taken classic carols and just amped them up, and did this kind of whole following the 3 wise men story and things. It was just really good. I had one of my mates was playing. He was part of the percussion group, and he played on drumline. So we went up on stage doing the like dressing in military outfit drumline style thing.
Ooh.
It was just really good. It was just a great day. So I went with the whole group of my friends. I didn't get back to my room or my house even until about 2 in the morning, I think, or 1 in the morning.
Oh, it was a wild night, wasn't it?
It was a late one, certainly. Yeah. It was good fun though. Yeah, that was the Hillsong Carol concert in London.
Now, let me see if I heard you correctly. Did you say 10,000 people?
Yeah, 10,000 in each service, so 30,000 in a day.
Wow.
It's a lot of people.
I'm not one to be prone to anxiety in a public place, but I think that would do it.
I don't mind that kind of thing. I like concerts a lot. I just enjoy the atmosphere. I'm hoping that, well, it's fairly likely that next year I'll end up being in the show in some form, playing, so that'll be fun.
I better get a recording, Ron.
Yeah. I'll send you a photo.
Okay, that'll do.
Would you like to do the first of 2 Christmas quizzes that I've found online very quickly?
Of course, Ron. I'm always happy to do anything.
So the first quiz is called Eat Christmas Dinner to see what country you actually belong in.
Oh, no.
So I assume this is going to be you pick some foods and then it will tell you what country the foods are traditional in.
I would assume so.
So let's see what you come up with. So, pick an appetizer, Raz, out of stuffed peppers, lobster toast, mini meatballs, oysters, deviled eggs, or chicken wings.
Gotta go with the deviled eggs. Always the deviled eggs.
I've never had deviled eggs.
It,
What's in them?
uh,
It's like, I don't know.
it's one of those things that it
spicy eggs.
depends from person to person, but it's usually how we make them. It's a hard-boiled egg, but you take out the yolk, and you would fill that. You know how it leaves a little like crevice.
Yeah.
You would fill that in with what my sister does is. Are you aware of what chorizo is?
No.
Oh my God, Ron, you're killing me. It's kind of like a spicy pork sausage kind of thing, but mixed with ground meat.
Okay.
So you would put that. You would mix it with, I think it's mustard, and I can't remember what else. But you would put that in the middle.
It's a kind of slightly hot, spicy, eggy thing.
Yeah, and then you would eat it as an appetizer. Oh, it's the best, Ron. I'll have to send you the recipe sometime.
Really good. Yeah, you will. I might make those next week. Okay, pick one more appetizer out of scallops au gratin, cheesy garlic bread, mini egg rolls, crab stuffed mushrooms, potato croquettes, or baked brie.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know what half of those things are.
So scallops. Do you know what scallops are?
That's fish, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. You know what garlic bread is?
Yes.
Bread is great. Mini egg rolls is like a spring roll. So like Chinese takeaway foods.
Mm-hmm.
Crab stuffed mushrooms. You know what
Obviously,
crab
yeah.
and mushrooms are. Potato croquettes are like hash browns. A similar kind of thing. So it's like mashed potato fried. And then brie. You know baked brie cheese.
I know
Baked
cheese.
It's a type of cheese.
Okay.
It's a good cheese. It's very soft.
I'm gonna go with the potato
Croquettes.
croquettes. There you go.
Awesome. Okay, pick something to drink. Eggnog, mulled wine, spiced hot cocoa, sparkling wine, espresso, or whiskey.
I'm gonna have to go with espresso because that's the closest thing to coffee there is.
Yeah. Okay, pick a main dish. A pot roast turkey, ham, shrimp scampi, Chinese takeout, or roasted duck.
I'm gonna go with the Chinese takeout.
That's so not classic Christmas at all. Oh, it's awful. Oh, out of those, I'd probably just go turkey. I mean, shrimp scampi is sort of like what we have as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
With my house at university, we had a ham and chicken this year, which was fun. They work very well together. Okay, so pick a side dish. There's Brussels sprouts, buttermilk biscuits, which I think is what we would call scones.
Maybe.
Going off the picture, they look like scones, but they could be dumplings. I don't know.
I'm thinking more of like the KFC kind of stuff.
Yeah, we don't have that in the UK.
Oh my
we have
God,
KFC,
Ron.
but we don't have anything called biscuits in KFC.
You're killing me, Ron.
Garlic roasted potatoes, bacon wrapped asparagus, stuffing, or a whole roasted cauliflower.
I'm gonna have to go with the stuffing. You can't go wrong with stuffing.
Yep, so good. Bacon wrapped asparagus sounds nice, though. I might try that at some point.
I was gonna pick that until I heard stuffing.
Yeah. You can't have like a roast without stuffing.
No.
Okay, pick something for desserts. Yule log cake, tiramisu, cheesecake, ginger snap cookies, brownies, or peppermint ice cream.
It's gonna have to be the cheesecake. Can't go wrong
Oh,
with cheesecake.
good man. What kind of cheesecake would you go for?
Just a regular classic cheesecake.
What flavour would you count as the classic cheesecake?
Oh god, just like the white one.
The white one. Probably. So it's probably just a plain cheesecake.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, my mum growing up made a blackberry cheesecake. That was just delicious. It's the best. And she's now started doing a baked cheesecake, which is also great.
Are they not baked?
No, so you can get a chilled cheesecake or a baked cheesecake. Two different
Oh,
types, and they're very different recipes.
Yeah, that's right. I just made the connection.
Okay. Finally, pick a Christmas morning breakfast. Oh, these all look so good. I'm so hungry. Cinnamon rolls, egg casserole, leftover ham croque madame, eggnog French toast, bacon, egg, and home fries, or cranberry scones.
The bacon and the eggs and whatever that
Yeah.
third option was. you lost me at the bacon and eggs.
What country do you reckon you got?
As long as it's not the UK, I'm happy.
It's the United States.
Oh, yes. Validation.
According to your favourite Christmas foods, you belong in the US. Your holiday feast looks similar to a Thanksgiving meal, full of hearty meat, main dishes, and vegetable and potato side dishes. Oh, that's great. I'm going to stick that in the show notes. And people can do that. Okay, Raz. Moving on. I think you've prepared something.
Oh, I was hoping you'd forget, Ron, because I must admit I'm a bit nervous about this.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I'm intrigued.
Simply because I haven't had to do a presentation since high school, Ron. I'm out of practice.
It's fine. Worst comes to the worst. I'll cut it.
Just cut it now. Save me the embarrassment. I did some research about it's been said a lot that Coke basically created the image of modern Santa.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this.
I've heard of it. I'd never known whether it was actually confirmed or not.
So I already knew most of this information off the top of my head, and
Oh, very smart.
mostly because I've heard it for years. So you start to memorize it. But let me tell you something, Ron. Doing the research for this was a roller coaster.
Oh, really?
Yes,
How so?
because I don't want to spoil it, but
Oh, okay.
it was like the Infinity War of research for me. So basically, like I said, the claim is that Coke created modern Santa. But to look at that claim, I guess we should actually go and look at some history of Santa himself, where he hails from and everything. So, according to history.com,
Nice to get your sources. That's good.
of course, got to be a MLA format. The legend of Santa hails back to a monk called Saint Nicholas, born in modern-day Turkey around 280 AD. Who would have thought? Turkey.
Yeah, I always thought it was an English saint of some sort. Maybe not.
Well, I mean, take it up with history.com, Ron. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll fight them.
But apparently, he was a very good man, Ron. A very good man.
Just completely good.
One of his better known stories was that he saved a pair of sisters from being sold by their father into slavery.
Sounds like a smashing chap.
Of course. He was known for many good deeds. Some of these deeds actually are the reason why he's been around so long. Like, he eventually became the patron saint of children and sailors. I can understand children. I don't know why sailors, though, so you got me there.
Just the patron saint of children. Give him sailors as
Yeah.
well.
They're practically children anyways. And it was this good reputation that actually allowed him to survive through the Protestant Reformation, which you're going to have to tell me about eventually, because I have no clue what that means. I hear it.
I think we'll get Fen to do that.
We could have a nice debate going eventually. And then basically, so that went on for hundreds of years. And it didn't enter the U.S. until, funnily enough, 1774, which was around America's independence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's when everything started to get very uncomfortable. People started wanting to rebel. And oddly enough, Santa came around that time. News spread to Dutch families that St. Nicholas had passed away. Anyways, St. Nicholas died, and then news started to spread across America, which wasn't very hard back then. It was only 13 colonies. And essentially, we get the name Santa Claus from the Dutch name. Oh, I'm going to butcher this. I hope we don't have
Just spell it out.
I hope we don't have any Dutch people.
Yeah.
Let me give it a crack, and then
Yeah, go for it.
So, Sinterklaas? Class? There you go. Which is essentially Sinter space KLASS.
Just like Sinterklaas.
Yeah. Oh, see, you say it better than I do. So that's when he was introduced, and essentially his fame really rocketed off when in the 1800s people started like carving into wood little stamps of him, giving out presents, the typical Christmassy thing. And during that, while that was happened in 1809, he was actually declared the patron saint of New York, Ron.
So he's now got children, sailors, and New York.
Yes.
This guy's got it all.
He's got everything, Ron. And that's the rest of his popularity, as they say, is just history, because he just rocketed from there.
Yeah.
Back to the claim that he was invented by Coke. As I'm sure you've deduced, this is blatantly false. He's been around for ages. What actually happened is that in the 1930s, Coke commissioned an artist called Haddon Sundblom to make like festive prints, because winter was always a hard time for Coke and many soft drink companies, because nobody wants a cold icy beverage in dead of winter. So this artist actually took inspiration from some other older versions of Santa Claus that I sent you earlier. So the first picture is what Coke came up with, which is the typical what you see of a very, shall we say, jolly Santa.
Yeah.
With the beard, the red coat, the belt, the hat. But as you see lower, there's similar depictions of him going back all the way to 1906. So effectively what Coke did is just rip off earlier prints of Santa.
So when was Santa first seen in Coke advertising?
That was in the 1930s, very beginning of the 1930s.
Yeah, so that's quite a long way after these.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
So Coke basically somehow took the credit for that, and then they rode that success, and now Santa's more popular than ever.
Have you ever seen the Holidays Are Coming Coke ads?
I've seen Christmas Coke ads. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
There's a very famous set of ads in the UK. Let me just find. Yeah, so it's the Coke advert from the UK is just kind of glimpses of these big, very well lit Coke lorries, trucks driving behind houses and trees and things, with a very recognisable tune in the background. It just goes, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. And because everyone had it coming, like, as they were growing up, so in their youth they saw this advert, and it was like signified the start of Christmas. Every year when that advert comes on, then everyone's just really happy, because it's a great advert every year, because it's very nostalgic. So it's really, I'm just going to watch through it. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. Poor Ron, reliving his childhood. You sound like a little kid, Ron. You having fun over there?
It's made me really happy. That kind of signifies the start of Christmas in my mind. So it has been getting earlier and earlier in the year.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
We didn't have exactly that, but we always had polar bears for some reason for Christmas. It would have
really?
Santa, but like it would be polar bears delivering Coke to Santa for his hard work.
That's so weird.
I'll have to find you a link later, but it's that
Yeah.
it was essentially the same thing because they're very cutely animated polar bears, so you always felt warm,
Yeah.
and it was basically the same thing. The starting of winter and Christmas is just around the corner, and it made you want to get a Coke.
Yeah. Drinks adverts always do really well. So I'm teetotal. I don't drink alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But the adverts on TV for alcohol drinks always look so good. 'Cause it's like this really cold beer or spirit or whatever it is on a really hot day with like good music and like a party atmosphere, so everyone's having fun. I'm just like,
And then
so nice.
and then you actually taste it, and it tastes like water.
Yeah. Or like paint stripper.
Yeah, that's the worst. I know which one you're talking about.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
I mean, that was pretty much it,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah. So that's crazy that Father Christmas, as we know him, with kind of the red and white, big beard and black boots and things, has been around since. Well, you found an image from 1906.
Yeah, and it's quite possible it still goes further than that.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen similar kind of histories of Father Christmas where they go back to the same outfit but in blue or green,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is the very early stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so what I believed was that Coke had trademarked him in all red to go with the brand of Coke. But it looks like they did just copy an already red and white outfit.
Yeah. They just made him fat, essentially. And even then, that's not an original idea.
No, not at all. Oh, wow. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. I like I said, I thought this was true, and I was already going into it. I was like, I'm not going to have to look this up. But I was like, let's go on Snopes just to have some extra validation that it's true.
Yeah.
Nope. Whole presentation down the drain.
We'll have to get Snopes to sponsor this episode.
We should. But I still wanted to present it because there's a very nice story lesson about knowing what your biases are when doing research here.
Yeah.
Because you can think you know something, and then it turns out it's blatantly wrong, and you're just spreading misinformation at that point.
Oh, thanks for doing that, Russ. That was interesting.
You're welcome. Anytime to look like a fool for the greater good, I'll do it.
We'll have to get you to do a similar thing for New Year's or something like that.
Ooh, that's going to be a more challenging subject. I'm sure I could find something.
Yeah. Okay, well, to wrap up that section, would you like to do another food-related Christmas quiz just to make us hungry again?
Sure.
I mean, I did say Christmas for me is just family and food, and a quiz on my family would be a bit odd. Okay, this quiz is, which of these foods would you rather have? And it will tell you your age somehow. So pick your favourite Christmas food and we'll guess your age.
Okay.
Okay, so of these 6, there's a couple of rounds. The first 6 are sugar cookies, gingerbread cookies, pecan pie, rum balls, fruit cake, or candy canes.
Ooh, sugar cookies.
Oh, really? I would have gone for pecan pie. I love pecan pie. So good.
I've actually never had pecan pie, so I would have to
You
taste
have to
that
try
first.
it before next episode. You have to find a pecan pie and try it.
I guess I'm going to Denny's then.
Which of these foods would you rather have? Apple cider, eggnog, mulled wine, hot cocoa, sugar cookies again, or cranberries? I wonder whether you can get sugar cookies on every one. And you actually almost can. It's on like 5 of the 6.
Why? I think the editor just really likes sugar cookies.
Yeah, I think they might be sponsored. Okay, I'm going to just put sugar cookies for every one. And gingerbread cookies for the one I can't. Sugar cookies. Oh, there we go. 13 to 17. Well, that's a bit off. So if you get all sugar cookies, you get 13 to 17.
I mean, that's pretty accurate, though.
Yeah, true. They would get just the sugar. Okay, so going through that again. Apple cider, eggnog, mulled wine, hot cocoa, sugar cookies, or cranberries.
Hot cocoa.
Oh, interesting. Tamales, is that how you say it?
It's close enough.
Do you say it?
Tamales.
Okay, yeah, I can't do that. That thing. Ham, figgy pudding, fruitcake, sugar cookies, or eggnog.
It's gonna have to be the tamales.
Good choice.
What do you mean good choice? You don't even know what they are.
Okay, hot cocoa, gingerbread cookies, regular candy canes, non-peppermint candy canes, fruitcake, or eggnog. This is the worst quiz.
I didn't know there was non-peppermint candy canes.
Yeah, me neither. Which of these foods would you rather have? Mulled wine, rum balls, sugar cookies, fruitcake, pecan pie, or gingerbread cookies? I think they've only got about 8 different ingredients. And they're just cycling
I was
them.
about to say, are they just rotating the order of these
Yeah.
ingredients?
So the new one in this selection is fruitcake.
I'll go with pecan pie.
Which of these foods would you rather have? Sugar cookies, eggnog, gingerbread cookies, regular candy cane, non-peppermint candy cane, or fruitcake?
Ron, I hate your test choosing skills. Eggnog.
It's the first one that came up. You are 18 to 22.
Oh, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's pretty reliable.
That's scary accurate, actually.
Okay, I'll quickly go through mine and just see how close it gets. Oh no.
What?
Guess what age I got?
10.
I got 46 to 100.
So it's safe to say that's incorrect.
Yeah, that's not my age. I'm not in my mid-40s, and I'm nowhere near 100.
I mean, we don't know that. I've never seen you.
Oh, that's so absurd. 46 to 100.
To be fair, you did pick quite boring choices there.
Okay, so we'll get you to eat pecan pie for next episode.
I'll go
I'll
find
be
some.
interested to know your response. Final section of this episode. Social media. We have a joint social media account for Twitter and email.
This is
and
news to me.
Anchor and various things. At Osiris Podcasts. Follow us.
Please.
What social medias do you use?
Currently? Or do you want like my whole history?
No, currently.
Because I could go all the way back to MySpace, my friend.
I never had a MySpace.
Oh, you were missing out. It was like
I don't think I was.
it was like Facebook but better. Currently I use Instagram, Twitter. That's about it. I don't think YouTube counts as a social media.
No, I kind of count it. And I mean, I have 3 separate YouTube accounts that I run.
I'm gonna need the names of those accounts later.
No, you're not. No. So yeah, I use predominantly Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. No, yeah, so yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook Messenger. WhatsApp, I suppose I technically use, but very rarely.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I've kind of got lots of social medias that I use for one person. So I've got Snapchat. I got that again just to talk to the people I know in Australia.
Oh, that's right. Snapchat. Sorry.
I am _Citron if you want to.
Don't follow me. You'll be bored.
I never actually post anything on it. I just respond to people messaging me. But I wanted to discuss social media as a thing because I very much dislike it. If possible, I would use none of it. But then I think, but I also stream. Twitch is a social media, and I get an income from that. I have Citron. So I stream. Twitter I use fairly regularly. Just to keep up with news and things. Now, Reddit counts as a social media, which I use daily.
Okay, then yeah.
Facebook Messenger I need to use to keep in contact with people at uni for group projects and things. WhatsApp I need to use to contact my mum. Snapchat I use to keep in touch with people in other countries. So it's just like all of these different things I use for very specific purposes. But they all annoy me because I don't like the fact that I'm constantly contactable. And I originally got rid of my personal Snapchat because it has the feature on it where you can have your location live all the time, which I turned off. but all of my friends didn't turn off, so I knew where they were all of the time. So I felt like a stalker. I didn't feel like I was being stalked, but I knew where they were, which I just found really disconcerting. And the fact that I knew meant that other people knew as well.
Yeah.
So it's like that data is all being tracked. And I'm not one of these people who particularly cares about my data being tracked. But I still don't like people keeping things that are personal to me, like my location or my age. Hence why I keep those kind of things slightly more hidden online.
I'll find out one of these days, Ron.
I'm not actually that fussed. It's just got to the point where it's kind of amusing that people don't know. And a couple of people do know online, to be fair. But I really, I don't think social media is a good thing on the whole.
I think it has the potential to be a good tool, but we just suck at using it. Because you get people who start whole fundraisers for a disaster country on social media, and it becomes extremely successful. But then you have people who are arguing over the most nonsense things on social media.
Yeah.
So
it's like social media can do anything from the very menial arguments to the massive, life-changing events.
Yeah. Essentially what it is it's the biggest illustration of the human condition there is. We can do good, but man, are we terrible people.
I think it's great the fact that we can communicate very quickly using it. But I think people lack the self-control to step away from it.
Yeah.
So out of habit, I never keep my phone on overnight. My phone is always switched off before I go to sleep. Which is great, because it means the battery life on my phone has stayed pretty good for the 3 or 4 years I've owned it. But also it means that I'm never woken up in the middle of the night by someone trying to get my attention.
But what if your family needs to get a hold of you, Ron? What if something happens?
20 years ago, before mobile phones, then they wouldn't have been able to let me know.
I mean, yeah,
So
but
it's no difference to them.
But what if somebody hurt themselves and they're in the hospital and you need to know?
20 years ago, before mobile phones.
Yes, but that was 20 years ago, and you know how much a pain in the butt that was?
Well, yeah, but so my view is I wouldn't ever feel like I'd missed something if I have my phone off. And that's the reason why I did, in inverted commas, miss it. I wouldn't feel perpetually annoyed that I'd kept my phone turned off, because that is something that I've chosen in my life to stick to. So it's I will turn my phone off every night to go to sleep, because otherwise I can see how I'd be very easily prone to just sitting on my phone for hours. So I'd rather have that concrete end of the day, phone is off, my day is over, I'm now going to sleep.
Makes sense. I can respect that.
I don't know. I view sleep very highly, which is so this is the discussion point for next episode. So we'll come back to this. But I tend to try and be very strict over my sleep. But yeah, we'll come back to it. But social media on a whole, I think, does have its very good benefits. But it does also lead to a huge amount of insecurity. So I think the generation currently growing up with social media has had this perpetual number associated with them, with how many likes they get and how many followers they have and everything, which I didn't grow up with. I didn't get Facebook until I was, I think, 13, may have been a few years after that. Didn't particularly use it. And then more when I got a decent smartphone was when I started using social media to its fullest extent. And I did definitely have a habit of just check my phone every 2 or 3 minutes, just see if there's any new notifications, and then if there wasn't, I'd just go back to scrolling through Facebook or Twitter. And it got to the point that in my first year of uni, I uninstalled all social media from my phone and had 6 months without it. And at the moment, I have Reddit, Facebook Messenger, and Twitter on my phone. Twitter and Reddit is purely if I've got, like, if I'm sitting in a lecture or something, like waiting for a lecture to start, I'll just open up Twitter or Reddit and scroll through that. And Twitter I keep up with my friends in other countries on. Reddit I keep up with news and things on, so I view that as my news app. And then Facebook Messenger I keep on my phone because that is the way that my family tends to contact me. So if it's an emergency, they'll call. But if it's just kind of something I can get back to, it's Facebook Messenger. So I quite often get rid of that off my phone for a couple of days at a time and just use it on my computer as well. But apart from that, I have no social media on my phone, I don't think, at the moment. I might have Snapchat on there for the last day or so. I don't think you can count podcast apps as social media.
No, I wouldn't count it, because that's more entertainment.
Yeah. But one thing I'm very definite over is I don't have any notifications on my phone. So my phone is always on Do Not Disturb with no vibration. I get on-screen notifications, so if I look at my phone, I can see a notification. But for a lot of apps, that's turned off, so I don't have anything for Reddit or Twitter. That's only for Facebook Messenger and texts and things. For the same reason I said earlier, that I don't like being contacted, unless I'm in a situation that I want to be contacted. So if someone messages me, then I'll respond to it when I'm able to respond to it, rather than seeing the message and thinking, I need to respond to that. What will my response be? And thinking about it constantly until I actually respond to it.
Maybe some people would take the hint.
Yeah. I just stopped talking to people. So what's your view? Do you tend to respond to messages as soon as you see them?
Oh, Ron, my phone would drive you crazy.
Oh, no. Are we going to have to screenshot our phones?
I mean, I could. Let me see if I have any notifications. Oh, no, you caught me on the one time I don't. Oh, yeah, I do.
Awkwardly, I currently have a messenger conversation with 70 unread messages. But that's my family, and they're all discussing Christmassy things.
Let's just put it this way, Ron. I can't fit all the notifications on one screen.
No, that's awful. I just can't cope with that.
Well, here's the thing, Ron. It's not more of I need to see them. It's more of I'm just too lazy to change the notification settings. But I do get notifications like maybe every like 5 minutes because of the Discords I'm in. I don't really get anything from social media because I don't really post that much. It's just more like you said to keep up with people.
Yeah, I did have Twitter notifications on until last week when I had a Twitter post blow up. I say blow up, it was fairly minor, but it had something like 300 likes in a day.
Oh.
And I was getting a notification for every single one of those.
Okay.
So I was like, yep, those notifications can stop, they can go away.
I could see how that would get annoying.
Yeah, I don't know about social media. And clearly I run a Twitter, I run various YouTubes, I run a Discord, or several Discords. I run a Twitch account. I'm fairly present on several different Twitch accounts. So I'm basically stuck in a circle of I have to be in social media. I couldn't completely retreat from it. Though I am always quite interested in the idea of taking a break from it. I'd be interested in doing it for a week and then like having a review. So we could possibly do that for a future episode.
I was gonna say
take a week off.
I was gonna say we could start now, Ron.
We could do. Well, this is my issue. It's like I want to do it, but I kind of physically can't because of university group project things.
Well, I mean, I guess we could leave Messenger because you actually need that. But
yeah,
like Twitter, Reddit, those kind of things. I guess we could try it out.
Yeah, I'd be interested in trying that in the new year. Sometime. So perhaps if we do our New Year's episode, and then the episode after that, we'll put down some actual deadlines, and we'll do like 2 recordings in a week. So we'll start it on one and then finish it on the other. That'd be quite an interesting.
I'm willing to do that.
Idea. I very occasionally will leave the house and just leave my phone in my room, so I can go on a walk and literally just be away from everything for a while, which is quite a good thing to do.
It's happened to me sometimes that like once or twice I've forgotten my phone, and for maybe like 30 minutes I'll feel this anxiety of, well, what am I missing? And then after that it's just whatever.
It's hard work because you're suddenly having to entertain yourself.
Yes.
I have noticed the times where I'm stricter over using my phone for a couple of days that it gets easier to not be using it. And then I get more productive and more creative, which is nice. I think we'll leave it there for the moment.
Sounds good.
It's been a good episode. It's been our longest recording by about 50%.
It doesn't even feel like it, Ron. I could probably do this for another 2 hours.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. So follow us on social media at Osiris Project on Twitter. The email address currently is still theproject.pod21@gmail.com. So send us feedback on either of those. Feel free to join the Discord. That should be linked in our Twitter. If not, we will get Fend posted at some point. The RSS feed for the podcast can be found in the show notes, along with links to our Twitter and our email. But yeah, happy Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
And we'll hopefully see you all in the new year. Goodbye.
Goodbye.